Greetings and felicitations once again, fellow modelers, and welcome to my little part of the galaxy. I've got a lot of stuff to cover in this video. Again, I'm doing this over a period of days. I try to do a video a day. Forget it. I don't know how Steve Neal does it. He gets all this work done and he makes a video a day, 5 days a week, almost every week without fail. My hat's off to you, Steve. See? No hat. Okay, I've got some suggested reading for you all today. There's all kinds of interesting stuff out there. Books, not just the internet. Okay? Now here's some of the stuff that I've used to learn what I do over a period of 30 years or more. And I'm going to start off right off the top. None of this is in any particular order, but it's all good reading. I picked out some of my best and favorite reference material and reading. So here you go. This is Electronic Drafting. John Frostad. Excellent book. If you want to draft out your electronic circuits or get into electronics, this is a great reference guide, great learning book, great material. Now this shows you how long ago it was I started with CAD. Using AutoCAD Release 10. Jesus, when was this copyrighted? 1989. That's how long I've been playing around with drafting. Well, longer than that. Jesus. I think I drafted my first orthographic and shop class back in junior high school. That was a long time ago. Excellent book here. Fundamentals of Engineering Drawing. This is every type of drafting, drawing, every bit of reference you could possibly want. Orthographics, lines, schematics, symbols, symbology, right down to the nuts and bolts of stuff, so that you express your opinions or express what you're trying to express, your drawing, your particular craft, or whatever you're trying to do. When you're writing it out, drafting it out, and giving your descriptive drawing, this will tell you exactly how to do it. Another good one. Print Reading for Industry. This covers almost everything you would ever want to know about any type of blueprint reading. Excellent book. A lot of information. Now, there's another book here I want to get. Okay. Now, this was written by a friend of mine. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him around for a while. Charles Adams, Model Design and Blueprinting Handbook. I wrote a foreword for this. Good book, lots of information. Tells you how to look at things, different formulas, laying everything out, standards and practices, you name it. Good book. Now for Star Trek fans that are into starships in particular, Jack Hills has a complete series of Star Trek Starfleet reference manuals. As you can see, I've used this one a lot. Good book. Now, this is a down and dirty book. This tells you a lot of what you need to know about basic and advanced tips for styrene modeling. Evergreen scale models. It's about 14 bucks, but it covers a lot of stuff. And you don't have to have a thick book to get a lot of information. Pictures speak 1,000 words, and there's a lot of good information in here. Now, for any of the sculptors out there, or wannabe sculptors, if you want to give it a try, From Clay to Bronze, this is an excellent book on various types of casting, molding, sculpting. I mean, you name it, if it has to do with sculpting, it's in here. Now, of course, you've got to have Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise, eh? Excellent book. Thin book, covers a lot of material, a lot of illustrated drawings. I think some of Andrew Probert's work is in here. A lot of good stuff. This was written by Shane Johnson and includes material from Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Molding and Casting Handbook. This is a prop builder's guide to molding and casting. Everything you ever wanted to know, wanted to learn, didn't know where to find out how, read this book. Go through it step by step. Read it twice. Try anything in there. Try things, at least try things once. You got to try stuff. You can't learn from sitting on your keister floating the forums. You're not going to learn anything watching everybody else make stuff. Okay? Awesome book for Star Trek fans, especially fans of the original series. I mean, this covers everything. A lot of stuff in here about Matt Jefferies and the original series. Matt Jefferies, awesome, as far as I'm concerned, awesome. Now, about paper models. Some of the regular modelers love to scoff and look down at paper modelers because they're elitist jerks. People in Hollywood have been using paper and foam core to mock up set pieces for direction and art direction and everything else going back to day one. I wouldn't doubt there was some type of papyrus paper model made by the ancient Egyptians when they were designing how they were going to lay out their city. So, scoff all you want, laugh all you want, mock us paper modelers and card modelers, if you will. That just shows you got a myopic view of modeling and a closed mind. Star Trek, Starfleet Technical Manual. I've had this for years and it shows. It is worn out. I remember when there was very little Star Trek stuff back in the day. Very little. And something like this, I mean, you just ate it up. Now, everything in here might not be 100% accurate, but this is a great piece of nostalgia to have. You know who I want to see write a book? Really? Doug Drexler. Doug Drexler does it all. Art direction, painting, makeup, background, lighting, special effects, CG, you name it. You name it, Doug Drexler's done it. Now, if he wrote a book or a volume of books, I would buy every stinking one of them. I guarantee. Because you want to pick somebody's brain that's been in Hollywood and knows what they're doing, Doug is the guy. Anyway, I guess, I got a couple of things here. This is the rear shuttle deck for the 50-inch refit that I had in silicone last week. There you go. This is a little clear cast part that my buddy Scott Einoff made for his Stargazer, I think. He sent this to me for a kit bash. Love it, thank you. Here's one of the small Battlestar Galactica plaques that I've made up. These make great model bases. See, it's a four-piece kit. You got the little angel body, got the angel wings and the design, the background plate, and then the pendant. Now, this you can just use these two pieces, or you can use these three pieces in combination, or you can use all four and come up with a really awesome, one-of-a-kind little Battlestar Galactica base for one of the smaller models. Now, I've been making these for years. I know there's somebody out there copying me. I really wish people could come up with their own ideas. But whatever. If you ever want one of these, I make these in various sizes. You name it. You just contact me, let me know. I'll make it up for you. You got some custom work you need done? Let me know. Alright, that's it for the introduction. Let's get on to some modeling. And here we are outside. And this is the big refit helm and navigation base plate. I designed this and made this up special just for my friend Lance. Now what we're going to have here, we're going to have roll, pitch, yaw, multicolored LEDs, readout, same, with little placards showing exactly what they are, just like on the console of the Starship. These are going to be yellow lights with occasional orange and multicolored lights flickering on and off at a pseudo-random pattern. This is going to be always on until you hit the deflector shields. Then the deflector shields will come up, and when you want them to go down, you'll click another switch and the deflector shield will go down. So now the wood that it's sitting on is just some of the wood that I used to make the cabinet. Right now the cabinet's in the back of the garage after the holiday, so I'll have to dig that out for the next movie and do a light test on this. Well, there you go. What do you think? Now you can see my fleet of motion picture era refit ships that are all in the works. All the best looking parts are going on Lance's ship. Lance gets done first. You can see I've been running fiber optics, doing detail paint. I've got this taped off on the engineering hull so I can use a little bit of putty to putty a couple of things up, then go back in and recut the grid lines to make it smooth. Virtually all of these parts are either painted in base coat or have their first coat of pearl. Now that's where I'm at on the major parts. I'll show some of the detail parts next. As you can see here, I've done the painting and Aztecing and decaling on the neck. Now, I talked to Lance, we talked about it. We went really subtle with this on purpose. I don't know if it's going to pick up the detail, but we went really subtle with this on purpose because you just don't see the bold, garish colors on screen that you see on some of these models. It's all really subtle. The one thing you do get out of it is that it's pearl. It's got a real pearl look to it. Now we'll go on to some more of the parts. Now here's the shuttle deck and a couple of the Vulcan shuttles and a travel pod that is yet to be decaled. Now I've made up these decals for the work bees and I can't wait to try them out. I've got a dozen little work bees, and whatever Lance decides, I'm going to use however many he wants in the shuttle deck. And I've also worked on this little wreck deck decal. I can't wait to try that. Now I did show some pictures previously, but this is the first time it's been on HD video. Doesn't that look sweet? Now here we've got the impulse deck. That's going to look really nice with a couple of orange and yellow LEDs back there. Maybe even a red one. Okay, here are a couple of arboretums that are just about done. I'm going to go over them with one more pass to clean up all the paint, add a couple of more trees. You can also see the cleaned up impulse crystal and the impulse crystal brass etch pattern for the gate that goes around it, or the cage, and one of the ceilings for the inside of the arboretum, a couple of work bees. These are hand painted and I just wasn't happy with them. That was my reason for making the decals in the first place. Okay, this is going to wrap up the refit portion of this movie, at least for now. Here's something that you should definitely have or try once in a while, and that's threaded lamp rod. This is a great thing for securing your model to a base if you want to make really sure it never moves. You can get this at Walmart or Home Depot for between $5 and $8. Now here's another little thing I've been working on. In fact, I've shown a couple videos, and in the next couple of videos I'm going to be working strictly on electronics on Lance's ship and some detail work and brass etch. So I'm going to get into this as soon as I can, but not before. Now people ask me, Joe, why do you have such a problem with the Polar Lights refit? Well, I will tell you, because my personal opinion is it's the worst engineered piece of crap ever conceived. If you look here, this is taped together in 8 different places, and you can still see gaps and seams. All of this has to be puttied, sanded, primered, painted, and the grid lines have to be recut for it to look good. Now you've got to hide all this. You can see that this has all been together not once but twice. This is actually 3 different sections, or 4 different sections from 3 different ships, and they fit the best. Now this side isn't too bad because it's already been worked, but look at that gap. Look at that. Putty, primer, paint, sand, putty, primer, paint, sand. It just gets ridiculous after a while. Same up front, right here, always a problem. Back here on both sides, always a problem. Same on here. Look at that. Look at that. I'm holding that together. I'm actually squeezing it right now, holding it, and it's popping apart in other places. The parts just don't fit right. I've been through more than a dozen of these kits, and every one of them is the same thing. It's just that one might be worse than the other. And I'm not the only one that knows this. This is why people get paid good money to build this ship, because it is such a pain in the you-know-what. And that's just the engineering hull. That doesn't even cover the upper primary hull. I'll get to that next movie. Here we have a Vulcan shuttle card model. Yes, a card model. Now, with a little movie magic, look what we get. Cool, huh? Here's part of the work bee I'm working on. Coming along nicely. Got everything cut out for the most part. Super glued everything to the plastic that will be cut out. More to come. As always, keep on trekking. Later.